Vani, you're a member of CBFC. Now on Monday, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee ordered a ban on the film The Kerala Story in the state of West Bengal, citing threat to law and order in the state. What I want to ask you is, can a state ban a film after it obtains a certificate by a censor board?
See, let me first tell you that CBFC works. It's a constitutionally, constituted body,
Yeah.
which is bound by the guidelines of the Chatkara Act of 1952. And under that, that itself becomes a quasi-judicial matter. When a film is certified, it's a democratic process where various people who are conglomerates of the certification process sit together and they certify a film. So obviously, it is a very surprising and a shocking and a very undemocratic move on part of the state government of West Bengal that after certification from CBFC, you see, over the years, we've seen how much of debate has happened around certification of films. We used to call it the censor board. Now, at least, for God's sake, the hard work that we have all done on the board, it's called the Certification Board of India.
Okay.
Despite that, well, it's very easy to cite law and order, problems for a government. But when you've not even allowed something which is certified by the CBFC to hit the theaters, how can you preemptively, put a implication that this is going to lead to security issues? So it's a very convenient political move and a very undemocratic move. And also the Central Board of Film Certification is a body which is constituted within the Constitution of India so that filmmakers can certify their films and theaters can run it. Also remember that law and order, we are a federal democracy, is the subject of the state, which means that the government is conceding that it is so ill-equipped and it is so weak that it preemptively gets scared about creative, work of other people like film, and it sort of bans it. I also want to ask the brigade which shouts freedom of speech every single day in this country. I want to now ask them, how can freedom of speech be one right for one person and another not right for another person? You can't have two sets of ideals, two sets of morals, two sets of principles when it comes to projection of somebody's work like a film. So once the film is being certified by CBFC, the matter ends there, and it should have reached the theaters, which it didn't. And I think it's an extremely undemocratic thing to do in a country like ours.
What could be the reason? Because the same film has been declared tax-free by two states, MP and UP. Also, it's almost becoming a trend now to boycott a film release. In the past, we all know what happened with Padmavat, or even earlier this year, what happened with Pathan. Nothing came out from it, from the controversy. In this scenario, how do a filmmaker can release a film, even though he has got the certificate by the censor board?
I don't want to get inside the head of the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal. But going by the recent history, plays have been shut down. There are questions on books. That means the democratic right of filmmakers, writers, street thinkers is under tremendous, it's a dark spot when it comes to governance of that state. What could be the reason? She is best equipped to answer, but I can definitely talk about the other films that you, mentioned just now in your question. One should understand the word boycott Bollywood, whoever is hashtagged it and whoever is behind it has to understand that each time a film is hit on social media as a negative, even before somebody has seen it, it actually is taking away the hard work of hundreds of people who have spent more than 1, 2, 3, or 4 years working towards it. You're actually snatching away the employment of so many people. When a film works, the whole unit, I'm also a producer, everybody involved with that film rejoices and benefits from it. Let me also tell you, we are the largest film producing nation of the world.
Yes.
If we will start with negative, pessimistic, and strange trends like these, what will happen to those countries which are known for their cinema but only make that much of cinema? We are supposed to be the universe, that planetary universe, which is creating, generating employment for people, lakhs, millions, billions of people in this country, because we don't make film in just one language. So, I mean, this is extremely disappointing. It is very discouraging, if as a thought for somebody like me. I'm a part of the fraternity, I'm a part of the industry, I'm a part of CBFC. And also remember, I have constantly spoken about how filmmakers in this country, whatever side of the ideological, political, societal divide they may be, आपने जब तक उनकी कृति देखी नहीं, उससे पहले ही आपने ये डिसाइड कर लिया कि this can't be seen. So I'm still saying we are a people's democracy. People of those states which are creating this kind of havoc with this film, or any film for that matter, should get up and should actually ask for questions as far as governance is concerned. At the end of the day, it won't just be one film. It will be one film, tomorrow it will be another film, day after it will be another play, the day after that, it could be just a painting or a book. I mean, where does it start and where does it end?
Then this is almost setting a wrong precedent. Actually, as a larger picture, do you think this sends a wrong signal to the industry, to the filmmaker, that not to back or make films which have social political issues as a theme?
No, it also takes away the responsibility which lies with the state. Remember, when those 1,000-odd people reach the theatre, they actually put their lives in the hands of those people who are exhibiting the film, who are distributing the film, those people who own multiplexes, and eventually the law of the land, which is the state in which they are sitting and seeing the film. So everybody has just shrugged off responsibility in this case. Is it like CBFC? What is the point of having a CBFC which works so hard each day to certify thousands of films, in this country? Then you shouldn't have a certification board. Disband everything and let anarchy take over, because this is the most anarchic decision a state government can take, that despite certification of CBFC, you've actually clamped down the film, you shut it down. And actually, I also want to ask one thing to your channel today, Vishal. When somebody says this is going to lead to a law and order situation, what is the meaning of this statement? That means there are absolute idiots sitting at CBFC. We have no sense of responsibility towards certification. We don't have sensitivity as far as society, nation, and law and order and national security is concerned. And I'm taking these words in chronological order because this is exactly what the Cinematograph Act of 1952 says. Within the guidelines, if any exhibition of any film leads to a social disorder, if it leads to a law and order situation, if it leads to some kind of social disharmony, if it leads to communal violence, if it's detrimental to national security, all these are reasons why we will not certify the film. But we have certified the film, so either we are Gandharis of Andhayug, where we are actually blindfolded, or those people who preemptively done this erroneous act are all Gandharis. That is all that I can say.
Ultimately, is the producer who's going to suffer. Tomorrow, if the makers get a go-ahead from the court, will the government compensate the producers?
Well, absolutely pertinent question you are asking. It is heartbreaking each time an act like this occurs. Because remember, we literally hang by the thread called the last Friday. The whole film industry, whether it is actors, producers, directors, music, directors, background score people, every single person in the last common denominator attached to a film hangs by the thread of the last Friday. And if that last Friday doesn't occur, what is left in your kitty? What are you eventually going to do? So I think the larger debate we need to rage after this incident is, on one hand, we are constantly critical of how our freedom of speech needs to be what is the societal influence of cinema on people, how filmmakers, writers need to be responsible. It's high time we ask, whose responsibility would it be when a film which has already been certified needs to reach the people, needs to reach an audience, and the big, large wall in the middle becomes a state government, which just absolutely autocratically in an anarchic way decides, now I'm not going to let this film exhibit. I think the larger question is, who is responsible for decisions like these? And in a democratic country like ours, how come this kind of undemocratic narrative is being rolled out in a year like 2023?
There have been films in the past which were critical of the system. Don't you think it should be left to the audiences? Let them decide what to watch and what not to.
Any film, as I said, which sits on either side of the socio-political divide, once it is certified by CBFC, it is in the ambit of the audience whether they like it, they don't like it, or they throw it out, or they accept it and they make it a hit. That's what I'm saying. Watching a film is also a democratic process, very much as certifying a film. So if you will not let somebody's work reach the very audience that it's meant to be, I mean, there are so many films which are critical of the system. There are so many films which, do not comply to whatever, say, for example, we are constantly trending on something. One day we will trend on something, another day we'll trend on something else. But the point is, in this country, once a film has been passed by the Central Board of Film Certification, the film then has to reach the theatre. And if the government clamps it down, you're taking away the democratic right of the audience, which will decide the fate of the film. I constantly say, you can't decide it, Vishal, I can't decide it. Even a producer and a director and a big star can't decide it. What will be decided is what people think, whether the film talks to them, whether it creates a kind of a bridge between whatever the filmmaker is saying, and whether it creates that kind of an ecosystem where they feel connected to it. Every film does not need to be a tearjerker. There are films which are dark, there are films that also deal with crime. But again, at the end of the day, we can only certify a film, and that is the only plethora of democratic certification in this country. If that will also get hampered, that is, after certifying the film, a producer does not have the guarantee that the film will reach the theatre, then Bhagwani Malik.
Vani Tripathi, thank you so much for your time, Industry Plan. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.